So welcome back. My next guest is Ted Watkins, who has been with me for now 6 years. Well, I think we're in 7, actually.
We're almost in 7,
Almost in 7 years. He has been on with me for many, many, many years. Ted, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, why you're here so much, and what you do.
Okay, well, first of all, it's great to be back, and we got a little break from the heat today.
A little bit.
Yeah, so that's nice. Well, my name's Ted Watkins, if you haven't heard me before, and I'm what's called an enrolled agent before IRS. And I'm not an employee of IRS, though. A lot of people think because of that title that I work for IRS, but I don't. I work for you, the taxpayer, and my job is to prepare the best tax return for you I can, get you all the legal deductions you're entitled to, and if you're unfortunate enough to have some issues with the IRS, then I can negotiate with the IRS and get you the best possible settlement. And the reason I come on so many times is I like to help people and because when the IRS is after you, it affects every aspect of your life. And so I get a lot of satisfaction from helping people to negotiate a payment plan with IRS, or maybe get them put in what they call not collectible status, where you don't have to make a payment. Or a lot of you probably heard the ads on the TV and the radio where they talk about pennies on the dollar. And what that is the offer and compromise program. So that if you owe a big sum of money to the IRS and you'll never be able to pay it back, a lot of times the IRS will accept a percentage of what you owe. And if they accept that, then they just write off or cancel the balance of what you owe. So that's the reason I like to do tax returns. I've been in this business since 1978, and I've been doing helping people out for about the last 25 or so years and working out agreements and settlements with the IRS. So I've done a lot of cases, but it's been rewarding to me, not just financially, but also helping people get their lives back on track and get the IRS and the other tax authorities off their back.
Now, the last few times you've had some stories that you wanted to tell. I don't know if we're going to do another one this time, but one of the things that you like to do is you like to give to people very much. You want to obviously give them your help and your experience. 1978, you've been doing this, and you can help anyone in the United States, anywhere in the United States, because you're licensed in all the states.
That's right. So because I'm licensed by the federal government, I can help you in all 50 states and even those strange territories that we still own, like Guam, Puerto Rico, and so forth. So I can help you wherever you're at. You don't have to live in Arizona. I actually lived in California for quite a long time, so I have a lot of clients still in California. But actually, we represent people in, I just did a little survey in my office last week in 23 different states. So we from one coast to the other, north and south.
Right.
We can help you out.
So he does free consultations. Here's another thing that he has. He has a great tax organizer, which I absolutely love. I love your organizer because it's got everything that anyone can think of that would be a tax deduction, and you don't have to be intimidated by it because all you have to do is look for what works for you, and that's it. We'll talk about that. He also likes to do for everyone to call in and get a free business or personal tax return for 2015 if you hadn't done it, and 2016. That's a $350 value free to you or anyone that you know. And he can go back 3 years for you for free. So if you're in trouble and you want to catch up, and you can go back 3 years for free on that. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And the other thing that he gives to everybody too is a free Walmart card or a Starbucks card.
That's
so
right.
He's giving you everything you can possibly imagine to help you out with your taxes, whether or not you've done them or not. 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You know what? I also want to talk about the difference between coming to someone like you. You know, when you say enrolled agent, and all of that, they think it's going to be more money.
That's right, but that's not the truth. In fact, my fees in most cases will be less than H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt or Liberty. And just because I have a lot of experience doesn't mean that you're going to have to pay a huge fee. And another reason that you should, a lot of people prepare their tax returns using TurboTax. But I just had a case just last week where a lady came in and she had prepared her taxes for many years during using TurboTax. But last year she did prepare the return using TurboTax, and what happened is she clicked a box that disallowed her exemption, and so she thought she was going to be getting a refund. Instead, a few weeks after the tax season ended, she gets a bill for over $1,400. And so what happens now is, unfortunately, it was electronically filed, and so our only alternative will be to file an amended tax return. But if you use my tax software is a lot more sophisticated than TurboTax, and so it would have probably picked up that error before it was transmitted, because usually when I finish preparing the return, we go over what's called the diagnostics, and usually those are 2 or 3 pages, and it'll tell us if there's errors on the return. So I can almost guarantee you that she wouldn't have had that problem if we had prepared her return. But now she has to file an amended tax return. And even worse, the problem with amended tax returns is that they take anywhere between a minimum of 30 days, and I've had them take as long as 6 months, because there's an actual IRS employee that goes over an amended return. An amended return can't be electronically filed. So now she's going to have to wait for anywhere between 1 and 6 months to get the $2,000 that she's entitled to.
Wow.
So that's another reason to use a person like myself, because like I said, my software costs several $1,000s a year, and it has all kinds of diagnostics that TurboTax doesn't have.
The other thing that I love about Ted is he's got the sharpest pencil
That's right.
I have ever seen, and he's so meticulous. He's not going to let you miss anything, so that because you're there to help him get as much money as you can. If you haven't done your taxes, you shouldn't put your head in the sand. It's this crazy thing to do when he can help you. You've said some terrific stories about people that haven't realized that they can actually get money back because of they might have been owed money. It might work out that they actually could either get money back or not owe much at all. And the only way you're going to know is if you ask. He does free consultations with everyone. He's going to give you, and we're going to give you, the tax organizer. So everyone, I think, should have that. I think they're awesome. That's awesome just to have for everyone. Also, he's going to go back for you 3 years so that he does that for free. And he's going to give you a Walmart card or a Starbucks card as well. Our number here is 602-277-5369. He is also entering everyone in to win a 2015 or 16. So it doesn't matter. Have an enrolled agent do your taxes for you. 602-277-5369. Tell them also about the cost of it, because you've made it so simple if they need to use you and get a power of attorney. Okay,
sure. So if you have some tax issues with IRS, what I do, the first step is you have to assign an IRS power of attorney, and you're not signing your life away. It only allows me to talk with the IRS, and that's because of the privacy laws. So that's the first step, and what that allows me to do is to talk to IRS and then get what we call transcripts or records of account, which will tell me that if you filed all your returns up to date, if you owe taxes, it'll break it down in showing the penalties, interest, and the actual tax that you owe. And the fee for that's only $175. So you pay that, and then you'll get all these reports. I'll sit down with you and discuss your situation with you. And then at that point, I can give you a firm fee quote. I usually do not work on an hourly basis. A lot of people don't like that. It's called being on the clock. So I can usually give you a firm quote so you know exactly what it's going to cost you to get all your returns filed back up to date. And if I need to negotiate with IRS or the Arizona Department of Revenue, you know exactly what it's going to cost. So, but if you decide that, you think you can do it yourself, I wouldn't recommend that. But if you think you can do it yourself, then $175 is all you're out.
You can check him out. It's TedWatkinsEA.com. You can call him. He's got 2 locations. One is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. His phone number is 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. We've got everyone entered in to win a 2015 or 16 tax return. Call us, 602-277-5369.
All
Welcome back. We're talking with Ted Watkins. He's an enrolled agent since 1978, has the sharpest pencil I've ever seen anybody have. What's great about him, he's also got two locations. One is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. And he can't help anyone in the country because he's licensed in all states. So everybody that's listening out there, you can also call in and he can help you. And he also will go back for 3 years for free for you. So anybody that's in trouble, he can do that for you. That's for free. He also is going to give you his tax organizer, which we didn't go into too much today, but we can. It's phenomenal. I think everybody should have it. And also, you're going to get a Walmart card and a Starbucks card. He's going to give you a free consultation. He wants to work with you. He wants to help you. He enjoys that. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You're getting a free 2015 or 16 business or personal tax return. That's a $350 at least. Free to you. 602-277-5369. So at the break, I asked you if you had some more stories, and you said you did.
I do, but first I'd like to talk a little bit about my organizer.
Please do.
If you go to my website, which is tedwatkinsea.com, on the homepage on the left side, there's a little link that says Tax Center, and they click on that, and it'll go down, and it'll show a free tax organizer. And it's 15 pages, but you don't need to be intimidated by it because it's kind of a one-size-fits-all. So if you own rental property, if you've sold stocks and bonds, if you have a small business, or if you just work for somebody, the good thing about it is if you just focus on what applies to you, then it'll pick up, I can almost guarantee you, every legal tax deduction that you're entitled to. So there's a lot of strange deductions that a lot of people miss. For example, you're entitled to deduct mileage for taking stuff to the Goodwill, or you're entitled to deduct mileage for going to your doctor or your pharmacist or your dentist. So those are just the two minor ones, but there's 2 or 3 pages that list all the major and minor deductions too that you're entitled to. So it's free. It's in PDF format. If you don't have internet access, I'm happy to mail it to you. So it'll save you a lot of money. I can almost guarantee you that.
Also, you can get it by calling here. We'll get you connected with him. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone should have it. Go ahead. What's your stories today?
Okay. Well, we talked a little bit earlier in the program that you should always file your returns and, don't hide your head in the sand. And the reason for that is that you're only entitled, or IRS only allows you, I should say, to get refunds for the last 3 tax years. So that would be 2013, 2014, and 2015. So if you haven't filed, say, from before that, if you were entitled to a refund in 2010, 11, and 12, say, those refunds are gone. I mean, they just I call it disappearing into the IRS black hole. So those 3, for example, in that example, maybe you had thousands of dollars for each year, so there could have been thousands of dollars of tax refunds that you're entitled to that are completely gone forever. And this is the law. I mean, it's been challenged thousands of times, and the IRS always wins. But they can chase you, as long as you owe, they have 10 years to collect from you. So it's not fair, but that's the way it is.
Right. So where does that money go if it goes into a black hole?
It goes into an account, and they just the Treasury gets it, and it's just like found money for them.
Wow. And do you want that? You people listening out there, do you want your money going into the IRS black hole?
That's right.
I wouldn't want that to happen. Now, he's got 2 Valley locations. One is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. His phone numbers are 602-363-1952, or you can call him at 707-7670. We've got everyone getting entered in to win a free business or personal tax return. That's either 2015 or 16. And you're going to get a Walmart card or a Starbucks card. He's going to go back. He's going to go back for you for free for the last 3 years. And the personal tax, it's the organizer that everyone should have. 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I actually had a person come in earlier this week from the radio show. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And
You've had lots of them. Go ahead.
He hadn't filed since 2010, and he didn't make a heck of a lot of money in the last 5 years. But like we said before, the 11 and 12 returns, and I'm almost positive, I haven't done the returns yet, but I'm almost positive that he'll be entitled to a refund because he's probably eligible for what they call earned income credit. And a lot of you have probably heard of that. It's kind of it's a negative income tax is what it really is. So if your income is below a certain level, and if you have children, then the government gives you money because you're not making enough money to provide for your family. So in his case, he probably would have been entitled to that until 2011 and 12. But it's too late now because they're not going to give him the refund even if it was earned income credit. The refunds are gone. So hopefully we'll be able to get him some money back for 2013 through 15. But that's a perfect example. And this guy had good records, too. He had all the W-2s. Now, I would have done the power of attorney like I talked about earlier to make sure that we had all his income picked up. But he had pretty good records, and we could have knocked those returns out in just a day or two. I mean, they were that simple, and he would have probably had maybe a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 refund, but those are gone.
Well, there you go. That's a perfect example of the black hole.
That's right.
So his number, again, 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. And our lines are open here, and I'm going to let you call throughout the rest of the show. Get entered in to win a 2015 or 16 personal or business tax return. You're going to get the tax organizer, which is phenomenal. Everybody should have it. You're going to get a free Walmart card or a Starbucks card. You're going to get you go back for 3 years and entered in to win all of this. Our number here again is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. His website, check it out. It's tedwatkinsea.com. So some of the other things that they should know.
Okay, well, the IRS has what they call the Dirty Dozen. And a lot of you might still remember that movie back in the day with Jim Brown and Lee Marvin, Charlie Bronson, and others. So, but anyway, they took it off that movie, obviously. So they have a list of the top 12 scams or things that are going on right now with the IRS. And the number one on the list is identity theft, and I've talked about this a lot in previous shows, so I'm not going to spend a heck of a lot of time on it. But just to say that, keep your returns in a safe place. Be careful if you carry your Social Security card around. Most people don't. But if somebody gets your Social Security number and address, they can make phony W-2s. They can prepare a tax return, and what they do is they'll make a phony W-2 and generate a big refund. So I won't dwell any more on that, but and Phoenix, unfortunately, is the number 2 spot in the country after Miami, Florida, for identity theft. So, but the number 2 one, and I've gotten at least 6 calls in the last 2 weeks on this, is there's a huge phone scam going on now, where these people, and they're coming out of Washington State and Washington, D.C., and they'll call you up, and they're really nasty, and they'll say that the IRS is going to sue you, you're going to jail, they're taking your car, they're taking your house.
Wow.
And what they seem to have done is target people that are 65 years or older. And they've gotten a list somehow, but all 6 of the calls that I received were from people that were over 65. So the IRS has actually stopped calling people now. So if you get a call, unless you're working with, say, an IRS revenue officer, I can almost guarantee you it's fraudulent. And what they do is they want people to go down and wire money to this particular bank account or get your credit card out and read the numbers off. And you'd be surprised. I mean, they get millions and millions of dollars from people because they get scared. They hear it's the IRS. They say that, you're going to be sued or you're going to get all your stuff taken away from you, and they just panic. And I had a lady that I did her tax returns a few years in Mesa, and she's about 75 or so. And she called me several times, and unfortunately I was on the line with the IRS, and she was getting ready to come see me about this. And fortunately, I was able to call her back before she made the trip from Mesa. But, she was petrified. They started calling her at 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock. So, and this is huge. And I've heard this from a lot of the other enrolled agents I know. And
the IRS doesn't call you.
Yeah. the IRS is once in a while they used to from collections division mainly, but they've stopped now because this is such a massive problem.
What are your final words for today, Ted?
Okay, well, this is a good time if you haven't done your returns. We get real busy after a Labor Day holiday with extensions, so we've got a window of about 2 weeks or so that, if you haven't filed in a while, I can help you out. But you should still even, set up an appointment. We'll get to you as soon as we can. You might have to wait a little bit after the Labor Day, but I'll get to you as soon as I can.
He does free consultations for everyone. He has 2 locations. One is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. His website is Ted Watkins, EA. Call in here and get entered in to win a business or personal tax return. Our number here is 602-277-5369.